Good morning, everyone. It turned out to be quite the wild and crazy night, bit like a washing machine. Rinse cycle, water coming from every direction, it seemed like. We sailed with just the main, just enough to get us through the waves and keep us moving. Now this morning we've unfurled the jib a little bit, and I'm going to try some hand steering to give the autopilot a rest. So that's what's going on this morning. So still blowing 15 to 18 and aiming for around 4 or 5 knots of boat speed so Curtis can get some sleep. It was a long night and it was tough for me, even with my seasickness pills, still feeling pretty rough. So anyways, I'm going to try to get some fresh air now and see if we can get this bus moving. Welcome to Sailing Sweet Ruka. I'm Kate, this is Curtis, and Roxy the dog. We were finally just one day out of Uruguay. The wind had shifted from the south, causing us to sail in a counter-current with large, choppy waves from all directions. Would we finish this passage safely upon entering the bay of Mar del Plata? Don't forget to subscribe and come along for the ride.
You ever wonder if days like these last with one another, with the feeling pass? Would you find out with me if it all starts to crumble?
We had to slow the boat down to prevent us from launching off the top of these waves. As much as we like to sail fast, longevity and safety of the boat is important.
It's not for me to decide.
As we sailed along, the wind was picking up speed yet again, causing the jib to jerk and flop around as we plummeted down into the waves. So I decided to add another reef to the jib, which of course woke up the other crew down below.
And hope we know when it's better to say goodbye.
Good?
Oh yeah,
Saves the pieces.
the wind speed is back up.
Alright, I'll go back down. Good job. Nice work, man.
Okay. Still exhausted from the battle the night before, Curtis and Roxy headed back down to catch up on some much-needed sleep, while I decided to add yet another reef to the jib.
And hope we know when it's better to say goodbye. You ever wonder you ever wonder
Trying to get this gimbal here. Oh yeah, there we go.
Hey, come back out and tell us what you think real quick.
Well, I think I just had a little fun giving the autopilot a rest, hand steering, and it felt like we were dropping off 3-story buildings at times. So it was fun, a little bit like exhilarating, kind of scary, but like an adrenaline rush. I'm not really that big of an adrenaline junkie, so it's like a little bit scary for me, but I love to steer, so I just had a blast. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting ride into the finish here. Hopefully the wind stays this or a little lighter. I'm okay not to see any more 30s. So anyways, we'll get the autopilot another rest while I warm up and grab some food and we'll see how the day goes. Ciao.
I smile, but it makes my teeth cold. I was like, oh, it'll be like Lake Erie, but it's definitely not Lake Erie.
Ah.
It's definitely the ocean. The jib was alright.
It wasn't long before I was back in the fresh air enjoying the sun that is trying to peek through the clouds. Soon the wind would pick up even more and require another sail adjustment. But first, enjoy your view driving through the waves in the Bay of Mar del Plata.
Shower, just ratchet yourself down to the bow, butt naked.
Feeling cold.
Yeah.
Go down to like 130, 112, 114, 120. Go 125, 130. All right, that's good. Now ease the jib.
After a good rip in the wind and waves, it was time to furl the jib completely and deploy the staysail. We bared off and then I eased the jib while Curtis pulled the furling line from under the dryness of the Dodger.
Yep. Lock them for me over there. Down, back up to your heading.
We then headed back up on course and I headed to the bow to release the staysail from being tacked down to the deck.
Okay.
While Curtis gave it a hoist, I headed back to the cockpit to help trim. The foot and leech cords had come loose, so it was a quick trip back up the deck to tighten them up. After the sail was set, it was time for our usual cockpit cleanup. Hopefully we could ride this setup all the way into Piriapolis.
We're doing it.
Oh, so clipped in.
Haha.
Oops.
Oh, well, good job, babe. This
All
is a
right.
good setup. If you guys want to know why at home, if you are tracking us, why we're going so slow right now, there's a few reasons. One, the boat isn't slamming into waves, so that's less wear and tear on the boat itself. And number two, we want to time up when we get into port in the day and in decent weather to be able to dock and everything. So trying to time that up also.
Well, guys, we made it into the shallows of the bay here of Argentina and Uruguay, and 25 to 30 knots does not disappoint. It's like Lake Erie on steroids. We are going past a dangerous wreck and also a whole bunch of tankers and cargo ships just kind of anchored out here. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We might be taking the staysail down here pretty soon.
Good evening, everybody at home. It is about midnight UTC, which means that it's about 9 o'clock here local time. Right now we've got a third reef and our staysail up, which is really pushing us along pretty good. Really too fast even. But we found that if we go too slow, the current kind of takes us sideways and pushes us where we don't want to go, which will make us go more upwind later. So we've really got a choice to either use our foils and keep a lot of speed, which creates a little bit of pounding every once in a while, or our choices go really slow with just the main, like 3 or 4 knots, and do a lot of sideways sliding. Right now the boat feels pretty good. We're pretty well set up and we should be into port tomorrow morning sometime. I guess I'll show you where we're at and then I'll tell you what I think of our sail setup and what other things that this big fight that we have gone through the last 48 hours has taught me about sailing down here as we get further and further south. The port that we want to go to is right here, called Pearce. You can see the wind barbs from off of our boat are a little more of a forward angle, so they're a little more upwind than the barbs that are forecast. So let's show you guys another set of forecasts over here, if I can stop it from sliding around. So here's our forecast right now. And the good part is that it's going to lighten just a little bit, hopefully, as we go here. It's still supposed to be a little bit more aft on all of these models that we have. So none quite as much forward or just as full southerly as what we're getting, but it is what it is. It's where we are now and where we plan to be in the morning. I guess what that brings me to is that we really need less sail area down here in this cold, heavy breeze and big waves. There's a lot of times that we don't want to go fast, and this is one of them. We don't want to slam the boat and jump it off of waves. That breaks things, that breaks bulkheads, that breaks rigging, that stresses stainless steel, especially when it's cold. I think that we're probably just going to get another storm jib made that is significantly smaller, and then reconfigure this fourth reef setup, and then I think we're going to be in really good shape for heavier winds. So that's going to basically half the sail size that we have up right now. All right, that's my midnight UTC update for the evening. Hopefully we see you in port tomorrow. We are here in Uruguay. Well, almost. That's land right behind us. After a really good 4 or 5 day sail, I can't even remember what it is anymore. It was a rough 2 days, that's for sure. Even though part of me kind of wanted to just keep going when we were out there, even in the nasty stuff. I just wanted to keep going south. I'm already cold, I'm already wet, the boat's already fully rigged, and no more boat work, no more cleaning, let's just go. But we're going to Pearce, Uruguay, and we're gonna have a great time, and that's about it. See you guys later.
Somos un velero que se llama Sleepaway. Llegamos al puerto en mitad de una hora, más o menos 11:30.
Good job. That's all you can do. Yay, Spanish. Okay, well, we made our call in. It's on video. There you go. That's our call-in point. All right, I'm gonna have coffee and go back upstairs.
Entering the calmness of the harbor was such a change from the last few days. It was rainy and cold today, but all we had left to do was grab the mooring ball and back into the dock, Medmore style.
¿Cómo usted a Estados Unidos y viene de Brasil, de Itajaí?
We decided to go stern in because it would be easier to get Roxy on and off the boat this way. Also, if there were any southerly storms, pamperos, or cyclones that came over us, our bow would be pointed south into the wind. Once we were docked, we chatted in Spanish with the neighboring boat workers until the Prefectura, or in other words the Uruguay Navy, came to receive our paperwork and start the check-in process. The passage was short but challenging. That feeling you get after all of your hard work, teamwork, lack of sleep, and mid-ocean battles have ended and you've arrived in a completely new place is something that is nearly indescribable. Once again, we plan to work hard and play hard before being on our way. Welcome to Puriopolis, Uruguay. Perhaps these weather and sea conditions were just a taste of what the Southern Ocean had to offer. Sweet Ruka proved herself a strong and sturdy vessel. For real-time updates, don't forget to check out the most affordable Patreon account out there. A special thank you to our patrons for making these videos possible. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time!